Okay, I guess I'm live. This is kind of exciting and also really scary for me. It's the first time I've done a Facebook Live outside of the interview that I did last week with my friend Kathy Bacon. And I'm excited to be here and to share knowledge and wisdom of what I've experienced in my life. So I wanted to talk today about bringing balance into your life, especially during the kind of turbulent time that many of us are experiencing on the planet. So I see there's a couple of people watching me. So if you're watching me, it would be awesome if you commented because I can't quite tell who it is, which is um, interesting. But it's a learning experience doing a live event here on Facebook. Yay! I see some people, or I see a like. Anyway, so I want to talk about balance, specifically balance in your life during this time, what you can do to bring balance, why balance is important. If you have a question about balance that you want me to answer, comment and I will provide an answer. But right now, I know that in my life, and especially on the planet, there's a lot of us are feeling kind of maybe overwhelmed, a little out of kilter. Kind of like when you're one side of your body um, feels a little heavier than the other side of the body, kind of can feel off balanced. With everything that's going on in the world, it's how do you find your balance? How do you come back to your own equilibrium? This is something that I try to practice every day. So there's definitely many techniques that you can use to find balance. And for me, I look at it in many different facets in my life. So how do I physically feel in my body? So not always necessarily do I feel an emotion as in sadness, fear, anger, but what is the sensation of our bodies? So I kind of wanted to start with like, let's feel in our bodies. So if you are participating on this call, if you just want to close your eyes and just take a couple of deep breaths and just start to feel the sensations of your body. So as you feel the sensations of your body, like feeling your inhales and exhales, so the movement of your actual body. So just start there. So continue to take a couple of deep breaths with your eyes closed. When your eyes are closed, you can feel into your body more. And when I talk about or say the word balance, how does that feel in your body in this moment? There's no right or wrong way to do this. So don't attach any judgment, but just observe your body in this moment and what does balance mean to you? And do you feel balance currently in your life? Do you feel grounded and kind of present? And is that the case as we do this quick meditation? What images and feelings come up for you? And again, there's no right or wrong way. If you're not feeling balanced or grounded, what does that feel like for you? So maybe even play with a canvas. So imagine there's a canvas in front of you and just paint or draw or put words in terms of what that means. So just sit with it for a minute. Again, keep your eyes closed, stay with your body, into your body. And just feel. Not necessarily the feelings yet, but just kind of feel the sensations in your body of what balance means, or what not being balanced means for you. And sometimes just coming back to your breath can help you to feel more balanced in your life. So it's like important to be mindful with yourself. And kind of feel. Now imagine yourself on a balance beam. And as you walk across the balance beam, do you see yourself walking across as if there's no issues? Or do you feel yourself a tilt one way or another. Again, whichever way you feel, it's okay. There's no right or wrong way. Just feel into this in the moment. And just observe yourself and your thoughts and your feelings that are coming up as you imagine yourself going down a balance beam. Back to yourself, imagine standing completely still. Moment. As you imagine yourself completely still, I want you to imagine you're growing roots into the ground. So you're really connecting with Mother Earth in this moment. You're connecting with her energy, with her strength, and just feeling really kind of grounded and balanced. And how does that show up for you right now? Where in the body do you feel it? What thoughts, images are coming up for you as you connect with the energy of Mother Earth by creating roots into the ground? Okay, you can come back to your body in the present moment. Wiggle your toes and your fingertips, and when you're ready, you can open. Yay, thank you for participating. So hopefully if you did that exercise, you felt, how do I feel a little unbalanced in my life, and how do I feel more balanced? This is a good technique to practice because throughout your day, you may not realize you're feeling kind of off kilter. But as you become more mindful of who you are, you'll start to feel more, and when you feel off kilter, when you feel unbalanced, and when you feel very balanced and kind of confident. And again, it's okay to be off balance in your life. It's normal with the chaos that we have. And there's so many energies coming right now that there's sometimes I'm going to feel really balanced. Like, so imagining myself in tree pose, and like a gush of wind comes and knocks me over. So sometimes I feel an energy or anger that's happening. So, I'm an American living in Israel, and I'm seeing a lot of things happening in the United States that just makes me really angry, and it can throw me off balance. And recognize, okay, I'm feeling anger. Let me express how I feel, express my anger, and then I can start to feel myself shift and feel more balanced in my life. Sometimes just looking at my life, like looking at my schedule for the day, I look at it and see, what do I have going on? And wow, how do I feel when I look at my schedule for the day? Oh, I feel good. It feels really balanced. Or sometimes I look at the schedule and I go, wow, you know what? It feels crazy today. And I could have 10 things on the schedule. And maybe to some people, 10 things is crazy. But to some of us, we look at it, no, it feels great. There's some me time in there, some time with a friend, there's work to be focused on, there's some reading or whatever. And sometimes I look at it and I go, wow, this is too chaotic. It feels completely unbalanced. And I say, what can I give up today? What can I move to another place? When I really feel in my body in the morning, am I nourishing myself? And is it okay to change something, give up something for today just to feel more balanced? I also have thought a lot in my life, and to give credit to Tim Lane for this, around work-life balance. I used to be that person that worked 80 to 100 hours a week, and I loved my work. I always loved my work. One time, I worked at an amusement park growing up as a kid. It was the first year I worked there. I did not like the work. But I think that was maybe the only time. Anyways, I pretty much have always loved the work that I've done. There's times when I've evolved through the work and it's not bringing me complete satisfaction and I need to move on or something's pulling me, but of my work that I've done, I've really loved and enjoyed. There's some jobs I had that I just was passionate about, and I would work 80 to 100 hours a week. And I justified it because I loved it, but I wasn't fully nourishing my body. I wasn't providing balance to my mind and my body. And I remember Tim Lane, and so Tim, if you're listening to this or if you listen to it later, I credit you for this, saying, Kerri, you need more work-life balance. And I just poo-pooed the idea. I said, no, I don't need more work-life balance. That's just ridiculous. What I'm doing, and I'm going to keep going forward, but it was interesting to see what happened to me even health-wise. I've always had a back issue, and how much that working so much and not having that work-life balance was affecting my back and creating more pain. And I think Tim and other people that I worked with at that time will tell you, they would walk into my office and I'd be laying on the ground on my back with my computer, like out trying to do work, and still happy as can be. And there's been a few times, I think, in a few of my jobs that this situation has happened where I've been laying or icing my back or doing something. So it's really recognizing this kind of work-life balance that's important, that we don't always need to do the work, and we can also ask for support, and recognizing what you need to take care of yourself. And what you need and what recipe you need for yourself, not everybody else is going to need that. So remember that. Don't always follow what everyone else does. Find it for yourself. And that goes back to me. What I do is I close my eyes and I feel into my body. What do I need today to really nourish myself? And then I go and do those things. And sometimes I do those things and I'm like, wow, that didn't work. And it's okay to play and to figure out what your kind of your needs for balance are. But honor what you need. And of course you can ask friends for advice on what they think they need, or what idea that they might have for you. But just honor yourself and listen to yourself first. So I would love some questions. There are people commenting, and I love seeing all of your faces here. It's just some people from different parts of my life, which is so cool to see. So if you have a question, feel free to pop it in the comment. Any question about balance, or any question at all at this point. But one question that a couple of people have asked me prior to this was, how do I find balance in my own life? Like, is there a daily practice? So besides the breathing technique that we kind of, in meditation that we do, a couple of things that I do is I journal, like, pretty regularly. And it's really interesting where I journal. And I say that because I'll be at a coffee shop journaling, at a restaurant, and people will come over and go, what are you doing? And I journal, because it's important to me to reflect on how did I show up that day. And when I do that and I journal and I say, how did I show up that day? I'm starting to see where a place in life where I might be off-kiltered. I'm not feeling balanced. And then I can say, okay, what can I do about it? What in me needs to shift to make me feel more balanced in my life? And so journaling for me has become a really important exercise. I also have a pretty regularly daily meditation practice. As many of you have seen on Facebook, I love meditation. I love creating guided meditations for people, but I also love participating in meditation. It's really nurturing, and again, it really creates a lot of balance. I do about a 40-minute meditation. It's a guided meditation from Dr. Joe Dispenza. I did many of his workshops. So I learned a lot from him, and I still use his meditations pretty regularly. And it's really interesting because the philosophy that he wrote is that when the body sits down to like meditate, I specifically use meditation to focus on something that I want to change in my life. And it's usually a belief, a thought pattern, an addiction. It could be an addiction. For me, my biggest addictions are Facebook, food, and then some feelings I have. And a lot of the thoughts and feelings that I have come from I created in my childhood, and I just keep reliving them. So like, how do I change the habit of being myself? So I do this meditation. My body wants to, because feelings are the language of the body. Horse in a paddock. When I sit down to go to meditation, and I'm kind of quoting Dr. Joe here, and he talks about this, that horse just wants to buck and kick at first because it doesn't know what's happening. And so when I go to sit down for meditation, I have to get my body in such a place of just tranquility, start to feel relaxed and balanced. And then I start to go in and do the emotional work that I need to do. So for me, meditation is really important. And I will tell you that when I started meditating almost 10 years ago now, is fall of 2017 or 2007, it was a struggle. I started of just sitting and breathing, and my mind went everywhere, and of course I judged myself for it. And then after what I said, every week I would add 5 more minutes. So when I went from 5 minutes to 10 minutes, oh my goodness, did my body kick and scream. It was unbelievable. It was so crazy. It was really difficult, and I judged myself. And so eventually I kept 4 minutes, and I got up to 40 minutes, and then it became really amazing for me, the experience. And then I learned about Dr. Joe and started down his path, and that really helped me for my meditation. So for those that want to start meditating, start slow. I highly recommend a guided meditation, 5 to 7 minutes, something that you can focus on. So sitting and breathing is great, and if you want to go down that path and challenge yourself to do that, and just get focused and bring your mind back to your breath, back to your breath, back to your breath, great. Don't judge yourself. It's like learning to run and wanting to run a marathon, but you're not a runner. When you go out for that first run, how painful it is, don't judge yourself. You're on a journey. There's this great quote. I don't even know if there's a quote, but there's this great saying that a child will fall down like 50 times as it learns to walk, but it never says, I can't do this. So if you want to learn to meditate, start slow and just work your way. And I highly recommend getting what I call support or a coach in terms of guided meditation, and go from there. And then work your way up. But it's really beneficial. The other meditation is about what you focus on. So don't beat yourself up if you use a guided meditation and think, oh, I have to have like training wheels. I've been meditating for 10 years now, and I still use guided meditations and not for training wheels, because I find them really empowering to me and really powerful, depending on what the guided meditation is helping me to focus on. So, okay, Kelly asked the question, with technology and social media taking over our lives and causing so much disconnection and static, what can we do to quickly bring ourselves back into the centered moment? That's a great question. It's an interesting one because it's a challenge for me, because, as I said, I have an addiction to Facebook, and had recently removed Facebook from my actual phone, because I realized that I didn't have enough control to stop getting on Facebook, like to the point where I'm going to admit right now on Facebook Live that I would wake up in the morning and not even get out of bed and grab my phone and get on Facebook. Wanted to see what's happening in the world. I would take the phone to the bathroom with me. So I think becoming mindful and saying I have to put it down. And if you need support, and so the support I needed was to remove it from my phone. I still have Messenger, but that's different. I can't kind of see updates. And just become mindful of yourself. And just to see what your habits are, and then also to look at how they're serving you. If you feel that they're serving you, well, grateful. You feel like you have this connection and you want to have that connection. Okay, don't beat yourself up and do it. Don't judge yourself for, using technology. And I feel like in my life right now, I use technology a lot because I live in Brazil, and not majority, but I have a lot. Of course, my family and my friends are in the United States, and then I have friends all over the world that I regularly talk to, really beautiful friend, Julia, in Germany. I connect with a beautiful friend of mine, Kira, in Canada often. And even here in Brazil, my beautiful friend, Kat, who lives, a 2-hour plane ride south of me. And then, of course, my friends and family in the United States that I connect with frequently. So it's not always easy to disconnect from Facebook, but if I want to feel more centered, what I do is I check back in with my body. Am I needing this because I'm feeling anxious? Is there fear involved? Am I angry? What's the feeling? And then getting curious about that. And the more I become curious about the feelings that I'm experiencing, and I don't judge them, I don't attach them, I just become curious. What is this? The quicker I decide, do they serve me? Then do they not? Am I willing to really express them and then come back to a place of joy and feeling more balanced and centered in my life? So hopefully that answered your question, Kelly. It's so awesome to see you. Okay, I'm reading through some more comments. I don't see any more questions. If anyone has a question, pop it up there. But it's so great to see so many of you on here and to also use this technology. It's super fun. And it's interesting, like in my body right now, I still feel a little nervous. Even though I can't really see all of you, but you can see all of me. Okay, you guys are so funny. Wellington, are you like giving me 100 million hearts right now? You're so cute. I'm only going to be on for another, I'm going to say 8 more minutes, so to do 30. So if you have any questions about balance, I was going to also talk about a breathing technique that I sometimes use in yoga called pranayama. I always botch Sanskrit in my yoga classes. I struggled with pronunciation. Actually, I struggle with pronunciation in Portuguese. So it's constant learning. So this breathing technique that I really love, if you guys want to just quickly use it, you can do it for 1 minute, but you got to take your right hand. I'm not going to give you the whole history of all of this. You can Google on Facebook or Google if you want to learn more about why the right hand and all that kind of stuff. So use your right hand and bring your pinky and thumb together. You have the 3 fingers in the middle together, and then you're going to place them in between your eyebrows. Then you're going to use your pinky and your thumb to kind of block your nostrils, but you're going to use your thumb to first block the right side. And you're going to breathe into the left nostril. And close your eyes when you do this. So breathe into your left nostril. And then close your left nostril with your pinky and breathe out of your right. Now breathe into your right nostril. Close your right nostril and pick up your pinky on your left and breathe out of your left. And do that cycle again. Breathe into your left. Breathe out of your right. Breathe into your right. Breathe out of your left. Breathe into your left. Breathe out of your right. Breathe into your right. Breathe out of your left. Breathe into your left. Breathe out of your right. Breathe into your right. Breathe out of your left. So you can do that for 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, just a day, and just to help you feel balance. It also helps balance your left and your right side. So your left side is your feminine energy. Your right side is your masculine energy. Or if you're male or female, you have both. And sometimes, depending on your gender, you run strong in one or the other. But also sometimes in your culture, you run strong. So for instance, I know when I go to work, especially in the Western Hemisphere in the United States, I show up more in my masculine energy. And so I had to talk about balance. I didn't recognize that I was doing this. And then I would be coming home to, whether it was my dog or my roommates or family, and I would still be my masculine energy. And I lived a lot of my life in my masculine energy, and things started to show up, like ailments in my body and pains because of this. And I got a lot of advice of you need to your feminine energy. It doesn't mean I need to just in my more feminine, more girly, just my feminine energy. And do that, and your feminine energy is more creative energy. And so to explore that, I think as we're taught to be in our creative energy, and then at some point we're taught not to anymore, not to play, and to be more focused. And so I actually, thanks to a beautiful friend of mine, Susan Gershwin, started coloring. So when I came home from work, I started just to color for 30 minutes, just to tap back into my creative side. I notice here what I do Brazil is I like to sing. I've allowed myself to sing again and feel comfortable with it. And I have this beautiful balcony off my room. So at night I can feel like Romeo and Juliet. And I sing to the top of my lungs to all of my neighbors. Occasionally I get people that come out or look out their window while I sing. But to find whatever creative juice you have and do that to sometimes just to switch into your feminine energy. So that's also like an important way to recognize if you're off balance. There might be something in the body that's showing up on one or the other. And so again, your left side is your feminine side, your right side is your masculine side. You can also do that breathing technique to really help you become more balanced. So I have a couple more minutes. Is there any questions? Any more questions about balance? Any question that you want to ask me? Do, 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 do. I don't know if sometimes there's a delay on this. And this is kind of fun technology to use. I do want to do more of these kind of live. This is fun. This is me stepping outside my comfort zone. Big time. Big time. But it's fun, and I'm excited to do them. So I also encourage you guys to give me topics around things that you might be interested in that I could share my experience or knowledge with. So feel free to, of course, anytime post on my Facebook page, whether it's my profile or my page, on topics that you might be interested in exploring, or for me to explore with you. Okay, am I experiencing a Kundalini shift? That's a great question. I don't know if I've really thought about it. When I just think and I just feel in that question, I say yes. I'm definitely experiencing a huge shift in my own life. I've been, I think, a little just on the emotional side, like some really deep core beliefs. I have been experiencing a lot of them kind of coming up and needing to be released so that I can be a more whole person and feel like I will not only serve myself better, but I will be able to serve others better. And so I definitely have been going through a lot of shifts and some really big ones, and those that are really closest to me will know what I'm kind of talking about. And I think, the last couple of days on Facebook, I've been trying to be more open about what I'm experiencing, but I want it to be is not in a sense of victim, but in a sense of sharing my journey with people and giving people permission to also share their journey and be okay to feel, and that we don't always have to feel happy, because that was our only goal, is to feel happy, then why do we have all these other feelings? Like, why were we given all these other feelings? I think the thing is that we've been taught not to feel them, and we push them down, and then they show up in different ways in our life, or show up as illnesses in the body. And once we can feel these feelings, they have to come up and out of the body, allowing ourselves to do that. And for me, that's the experience of life, like to feel the feeling. And so sometimes it's like to feel anger, It doesn't mean you have to be constructive or destructive. Constructive, yes. Destructive. You don't have to be destructive in the matter. Actually, I've been experimenting on what does it feel like to feel anger, like to really express it, and not to where I'm like yelling at somebody, because that was the old me. When there would get a point where I would be nice, 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 not say anything, not say anything, not say anything, and hold it in, and then I would like explode. I can tell you, my mother has had this experience. And now I'm learning to like, oh, I feel anger. Oh, I need to express it. And I own the feeling. I don't say, you made me angry. It is definitely an I feel statement. And I feel angry because of this. And I just need to sometimes just say it. But sometimes there's more. I need to fully feel it. So yesterday I was laying on my bed. I told my best friend Stacy this, and I just started kicking and pounding, like kicking my feet and pounding my fists like a 5-year-old in like a store throwing a tantrum. And I just wanted to see if, does that help me release anger? I don't know if it did, because I think I judged myself a little bit for it. So I'm still sounds. And sometimes it's just closing your eyes and just feeling wherever the tightness is in the body. And for me, it's usually in my neck area, my throat, and back of my upper back, where I feel a lot of tension. That's for me where I carry a lot of anger. And just feeling into that anger. And normally it kind of is, 3 to 5 minutes. And sometimes, like yesterday, I actually did a session with a therapist, and I had some anger showing up and images, which really helped me, because it was an image of when I was a child between the ages of 1 and 2 months. And there was anger I needed to express with my mother. And she's so great. She took my call yesterday and allowed me to express it. And it was really beneficial to me. So anyways, that's the live Facebook for this week. And again, like, I'd like to do these more regularly, so I will probably schedule something for next week, maybe the same time, maybe not, we'll see. So if you guys have a topic that you want to talk about, that interests you, if you want to learn something more, post on my Facebook page and or send me a message. Like, I'd love to hear from people. I love doing this work. I love more the like one-on-one with people, to see them on the other side versus just talking at you. That's not quite my style. But I have found that talking for me is much better than writing. I've been trying to write more. I've been trying to write like blog pieces and newsletter pieces, and it's just like I'm stuck. It's something I need to work on. But so for now, events, I think are going to be beneficial for me at this point. And it's helping me also, like, I'm feeling more already relaxed in this 30 minutes, but helping me fear of like getting in front of and talking to people. Many of you guys know I can get up in front of hundreds of people, thousands of people now, and talk about something I'm really passionate or really know a lot about, but I haven't done this before. So, and partly because I'm looking at myself, and that's really difficult, but the more that I love myself,